This is the Simplistic Reviews podcast. They talk movies. They talk TV. They talk in Hebrew.
Movies and television, Julie, that's it. Nobody here can talk in Hebrew.
Actually, I can.
You see? Shalom to you, Matt.
Shalom, Julie.
Can we just finish with the intro, please?
I'm your announcer, Julie. And I've been the invisible girlfriend to these three dopes before it was suddenly in style. Here are your hosts, Matthew Stewart, DJ Valentine, and Justin Polizzi.
Hello, New Year. This is the Simplistic Reviews podcast. I'm DJ Valentine. I'm joined by two men who would never lip sync the national anthem, but lip sync this podcast every month, Matthew Stewart and Justin Polizzi. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good, Dr. Valentine.
Ho, ho, ho.
Damn it, ho, ho, ho. It's over, all right? You're gone. Go back to your fucking...
I'm living in the past, damn it. I'm living in 2012.
You don't even know what year it is.
Exactly, whatever that was.
You don't even know what year it is. So it's a new year, guys. Anything hit your interest?
2013? I don't know.
I mean, we're
all kind of nebbish here today on the podcast.
We got a new president.
Kind of Woody Allen-ing out right now.
We got a new. we got a new president. We got whatchamacallit? No, he's the same president. Oh. Why do they have an inauguration for a guy who's already there? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't. You had one. Why do you got to have another one?
I can understand if it was a new guy, but it's
come on! You have a birthday every year.
That's true.
Yeah.
You might.
But
I don't have a birthday every year.
There's some years my birthday just kind of goes by the wayside. Like I don't have a million people show up at my house saying happy birthday.
I think birthdays stop being like celebratory right around mid-20s, where you're like, oh God.
Yeah, that's how.
Now I gotta stop
counting. That's how they
people.
feel.
Presidents are like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, the next thing I have to look forward to is like my AARP card, or my Social Security check. It's like I don't have anything between 30 and 65.
Prostate exam.
I think AARP is like 50.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, good. So 20. I only
There
have
you
to in 20 years. I'll have something to look forward to. Thanks, Obama.
Here comes that finger, right up your ass. We were talking on whatchamacallit earlier about shows that we wish that ended too soon that should be going on forever.
Yes.
And you said, well, Matt, you said Batman the Animated Series, which I know Justin probably agrees with. But that show was on for like what, 8 years?
Not really. I mean, you think about how many episodes they put out. I mean, they only put out maybe. I don't even think they put out 100 episodes. They might have, but I don't think so.
They only went from like 92 to 95-ish.
Yeah, it wasn't that
three
long.
3 seasons, essentially, because then it switched over.
I'm not a kid anymore. I don't know what kids do nowadays, but Saturday mornings was like fucking every Saturday morning was like Christmas because you had like all the great cartoons like Batman animated series and Spider-Man the animated, all that stuff was on. Now there's nothing. It's like I don't even know what comes on Saturday mornings. Maybe because I'm not up. But I'm pretty sure nothing in the realm of...
I don't think they put anything like on network. They don't put anything on Fox or CBS or NBC anymore.
You remember mid-90s? It was like every morning it was some like a block of shit. It was just it would be either Batman, Superman, or both. There would be a whole bunch of stuff. Now it's just kids watch. I think Yu-Gi-Oh destroyed it. Yu-Gi-Oh was like the last bastion of bullshit that was on animated Saturday mornings, and then. Now you have nothing but a weird after-school special shit.
Yeah.
Okay, Julie, let's do Word of the Month.
It's time again for Word of the Month, with musical accompaniment by Cameo. Cameo actually performed with a cod piece. You heard me. A cod piece.
Oh, man. Well, it's Word of the Month time. Month of January. The year has just started. The month has just started. Justin.
Oh God.
You have.
Why am I?
No, not again.
What is your word of the month? And oh God does not count because that's 2 words.
What if you say it really quick and you're like, oh my God?
Word of the month. Word of the month. Mixed.
Mixed? Yeah. Okay. Why mixed?
Well,
and please tell me you're not talking about a
bakery.
Our illustrious Jessica Alba or Rosario Dawson.
Not the slightest. Like I watched Hyde Park the other day, yesterday.
Oh yeah, how was that? How was that?
Again, it was mixed feelings. I had mixed feelings on it. I watched a couple things and I have some mixed feelings on it. So I can't reuse a word over and over again. But so far, every film that I've watched has been pretty mixed right now. I mean, Hyde Park was good, but then it was like 2 films in one. And then as you watch it, you kind of like, you go on the one side, and then they throw this other thing in there, and you're like, all right, I guess I'll go on this side. And then they try throwing it back, and you're kind of like, oh, come, just figure out what you want to do with this film. So,
so it's like it's trying to decide if it wants to be a comedy or a drama.
The two thing is FDR in love with his cousin, right? And the other one is FDR.
Spoiler alert!
With
Spoiler
King
alert!
George.
Spoiler alert! If you haven't read a history book, FDR is in love with his cousin.
It's like a
spoiler.
fifth. It's like a fifth.
History spoiler alerts.
History spoiler alert for people who
cousin, whatever it is. So
65-year spoiler alert.
It's not that bad, but still. And then you have King George coming in, stuttering away that he does, trying to get America into the war. So you have these two colliding, and when you're with King George, you're not with her, and she like disappears throughout the movie, and then King George leaves, and then she comes in. They try giving her back to you, and then King George comes back in. So it's like there's no crossover. It's mixed, and you don't know which side to be on. And then like when the movie's done, you're kind of like, all right, so on to something else.
So how was the performances of Bill Murray? Was it?
I liked it. I thought Bill Murray did a great job. I did, but also I kind of like King George. I thought starting away. But I think
who played King George in that movie though?
It wasn't. Yeah, I mean that would be another thing if they kind of did a crossover with what's his name?
Oh, Colin Firth or something.
Yeah,
like that?
That would have been kind of cool. But they got
King speech.
Yeah.
But I felt like they're trying to. I think they were trying to go for that as well, like trying to push Bill Murray as that, trying to throw him into the ring because he was, he's been brought up for our numerous awards and stuff like that. But I thought the guy did good as King George. And
who was it?
Oh, I couldn't tell. I've never.
Some British guy, some stuttering British man.
Some stuttering British man. Stephen Merchant.
There you go. Steve Coogan, who knows?
Steve Coogan as King George.
What's his name? Samuel West? No, that wasn't him. No, was it him?
Might be. I don't know. Who cares?
Some
but yeah, I mean, I was only gonna watch it for Bill Murray, and if you tell me Bill Murray's good,
he's good. I like the first 5 minutes. Spoiler alert: FDR gets a hand job.
Oh, okay.
Really?
And
man, FDR was about it.
He's got some moves.
It's the
FDR.
1940s, late 30s. What does he care?
The crippleness apparently didn't hurt him too bad.
The polio didn't hurt him.
Penis still working. A-okay.
I think like when you get like 5 minutes into a movie like that, and FDR gets a hand job in a car, it kind of defeats the movie. In a way, because you're kind of like, did I really need to see that?
Yeah, it's like, what's this bringing to the table? Like, what's this adding to my movie enjoyment?
I don't know. It kind of, there was things like that, you know what I mean? And then, the script had many issues with it. I think that's what the big problem was, because everything else was nice. I liked all the actors. I liked the way the film looked and shot and blah blah blah. But it is what it is. So
you give it a 5 out of 10, a thumb middle, thumb to the side. You're kind of like Commodus deciding to kill Maximus.
I mean, I really was liking more the King George, and FDR relationship, and then they had to throw in Daisy, his cousin. So I think if it went one way, like if it just stayed with maybe him and Daisy, it's another thing. But I don't know. It's just mixed, really. I liked it, but then I didn't really
into one movie.
Yeah, it was 2 movies in one, really.
Okay, Matt, what's your word of the month?
Word of the month. Damn. I don't know.
Damn. Okay, tell us why. Damn. Damn.
I would maybe say kind of, I don't know, bored, I guess.
Bored.
I mean, I haven't really been watching many movies or anything like that, and nothing's really come out since the beginning of the year that's really caught my eye. I mean, there's been some shitty shit. I mean, like the new Texas Chainsaw. Even though people have told me that it's good, apparently.
Did you see? I read a review for it. I heard it was bad. I didn't see it though.
I didn't. I mean, some people said it's good and it works really well with like the 3D and stuff like that. But I mean,
that's a funny
I don't
sentence.
Know. Who cares? Who gives a shit, really? But I don't know. I mean, nothing's really happened this month. This month has been kind of like, okay, I'm ready to get into February right now. So I don't know. I don't really have anything to bring to the table. Word of the month. I'm just kind of I'm waiting for the summer. I'm waiting for a few months coming up and stuff like that.
You're not waiting for Parker?
Who the hell are you?
I'll go to make sure you're not wearing a wire. It's like what kind of dumbass shit is? Oh boy!
I love the guy who just screams, "Who the hell are you?" I'm Parker.
That movie does have Michael Chiklis in it, though.
It does have Chiklis, but he's not in any of the commercials, so it makes me think that he's like barely.
Yeah,
no, but I hate
he's in the trailer, but that's it.
He's the bad guy, I think.
Yeah, he's the villain. Right. He's coming after us.
But I hate going on YouTube I'm like, oh, I gotta for a 5-second clip, and then I gotta watch the whole freaking trailer to Parker 20 times over.
Okay, my word of the month, which is probably Matt is probably right. The only word of significance of the month, it's got to be Abrams. J.J. Abrams named now the director of Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars, the episode 7, and I'm elated about it. I mean, when I first heard they were doing the movie, when this whole Disney coup or takeover happened, I was like, who are they going to get to direct it? And I was like, man, too bad J.J. Abrams is doing Star Trek, because he's always said, I'm this huge Star Wars fan, and I'm trying to input some of the Star Wars stuff into Star Trek stuff. And when they asked him about it, he was kind of just like, nah, I don't think I'll be able to do it. I want to sit back and watch. The whole time he's probably deciding that he's probably crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's to do the Star Wars thing.
What a scumbag.
Well, yeah, he said that. Like, it's exactly verbatim kind of what he said. And
yeah,
he said he's like, I don't want to.
He didn't, like, for the fans, because it's like a civil war.
Oh my God.
He didn't want to do. He wanted to focus on Star Trek because Star Wars and Star Trek shouldn't mix. Yeah.
But I mean, he has this is going to be the last Star Trek he was going to do anyway. He was going to do like he did Mission Impossible, where he does the first one and now produces Ghost Protocol.
Bad Robot is just kind of like the production company for everything now.
Yeah. So if he's going to have another directing project, and this is probably the biggest opportunity of his life, if somebody said you get to direct your dream project, how the hell do you say no to that? So, and I honestly, people are down on J.J. Abrams for some
I don't know why. Maybe they've never.
I think he's a great director
or something. I don't know. I don't know why they would be down on him.
It was up to 2 people, which one I know Matt hates. It was Zack Snyder was up. And J.J. Abrams was up.
The entire movie would be 5 hours because half of it would be in slow motion.
But you have to admit this, okay? Zack Snyder, love him or hate him, compared to J.J., J.J. knows how to direct action very well.
Does he? Does he?
Yes.
He knows how to direct slow motion, but can he direct?
Yeah, but he's very good at details.
Yes, his action scenes compared to any the fight scene in Watchmen between Ozymandias and Rorschach is better than any action scene I've ever seen in The Dark Knight. And I love The Dark Knight, but he knows how to direct action. One, he pulls the camera backwards.
You have to pull the camera backwards. If you're going to shoot in slow motion.
Well, that's good, because they said Michael Bay was like the last Transformers he did. The only reason it looked better is because he was forced to pull the camera backwards because of the stupid.
But you couldn't tell, that 3D, and you couldn't tell who was fighting who with his fucking robots and goddamn.
Yeah.
shit flying around.
Action scenes are better when action scenes if you have great choreography, or like The Matrix. When you're watching Agent Smith fight Neo, they don't have the fucking camera on their face. You get to see their movements, and Zack Snyder can do that. Though he does do slow motion, which doesn't bother me.
He's getting better with it, though. He's using less and less.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I think he's used more. I mean, when you look back at his first, when he did Dawn of the Dead, when he did the remake, not a lot. There was slow motion, but there was some, but not a lot. Not enough to bother me. Plus, I liked the horror aspect of it too, and that it did like actually a good remake of a horror movie. But then he had 300, which is chock full of slow motion. Watchmen, which is chock full of slow motion.
Good action scenes though.
Sucker Punch, which is chock full of slow motion. Batman, I don't know. Will it be chock full of slow motion? How do you shoot somebody flying in slow motion?
What do you mean Superman?
Superman.
What did I say?
You said Batman.
Batman.
Sorry, Batman. Superman. Yeah, but how do you shoot somebody flying in slow motion?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I
guess we'll see. Right?
I haven't seen any. Yeah, I haven't seen any slow motion in any of the. I mean, but the thing about Superman is when he does, in any incarnation of Superman, when he does like do a super punch, they usually do slow motion, so that's kind of in his wheelhouse.
Okay. Yeah, it could work. It would definitely. I could see that working better for him, Superman.
That's the capture the raw power of Superman. Slow motion would work.
You want to see all the jowls and the skin move and all that weird shit. So I don't know. He's got.
But yeah, getting back to Abrams, I think that he's going to do. I mean, from what I've read of the press release, it sounds like he's just doing episode 7. He's not taking it over. I think they're going to do like an original trilogy where they have different directors for each one.
Yeah, like that.
Give
everybody a chance.
The thing I did hear also was that at least when Zack Snyder was in charge, that it seems like the lead character for this is going to be a woman, and Chloe Grace Moretz was supposedly up for it, which I think would be fucking awesome. But I don't know if she's going to still be carried on because it's a different director now. Hopefully it's unrelated and they use her because, again, as I said before, she's kind of on my radar as about to blow up as one of the biggest actresses out there now because she's done she has range. She's done a wide variety of. She can do Hugo. She can do Hit Girl. She can do Carrie, which I'm looking forward to, though they pushed back. But I think that movie is going to be great. I think that's great news for Star Wars fans. It's kind of shitty news for Star Trek fans, but I think
he'll be okay, though. I mean, I think Abrams would probably put somebody in charge. Like, if Abrams maybe put somebody like Matt Reeves in charge, maybe of, like, the next Star Trek or something.
Just keep
Damon,
I like Matt Reeves. I think keep Damon Lindelof the hell away from this.
Well, don't have him write shit for it. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Keep him stay away. Damon Lindelof, if you don't know, is the guy that fucked up Prometheus. Okay, Damon Lindelof is the guy that wrote the last episode of Lost that made me want to throw myself out of a 10-story building. It's Damon Lindelof. I guess might have had some good moments, but for some reason he just likes to fuck the audience. For some reason, like his loyal customers, he decides to screw. So stay away from Star Trek and Star Wars, please, Damon Lindelof. Anybody else? Matt Reeves, I have no problem with because
as a writer or as a director?
As a writer.
Matt Reeves. We're talking about the same one.
No. Matt Reeves is the guy that did
Matt Reeves did Cloverfield, and then he did Let Me In. Yeah, which is probably most underrated vampire movie in the past.
Let Me In, which was with.
He also did Felicity. And Under Siege too.
And Under Siege, dark territory, baby. But Chloe Grace Moretz was in Let Me In, so that kind of makes me feel good because maybe there's still that connection there between him to JJ, to her. So maybe she can still be in the running as the lead character. I think having a female main Jedi character in that new incarnation of Star Wars is good because again, Hollywood is struggling for a strong female protagonist in any film.
Yeah.
I mean,
could she be
you got
like a
Tomb
Mara
Raider.
Jade or something like that? I mean, because even when Han and Leia fucked, you can't have a boy or a girl. They had twins, right?
They had 3 kids, yeah. But I think it's going to take place way past them. I think they're going to try and erase, not erase. They're going to
get rid of the entire original. Oh, okay.
Not to get rid of it, but they want to move past it. I mean, if they're not going to do a Republic, which I think they should have done, they should. They're going to probably try and distance themselves as much as they possibly can from the original trilogy. Not to say they're not going to mention it, but I don't think they want to use Mara Jade because Mara Jade is Luke's girlfriend.
Yeah, it's kind of like right after.
Mark Hamill is a little old. So. Yeah, I think they should move it. I think maybe 50 years in the future or something like that. I don't know.
And there's a lot of good universe. Make a brand new universe, but use the same kind of general. Like still the Force, still Jedi, still Sith, but use different people.
It'd be the right way to do it, but that's not what's going to most likely happen.
Yeah, too many marketable characters.
Well, that's what I think. I think that's the one reason why they got him is because he could probably get the big names to come back, and that's what kind of scares me about that. Plus, I think the next one, like DJ was saying, it really should be dark and just really.
I would like that. Yeah. I
don't want, scary dark.
I don't want an Indiana Jones Part 4 again.
No one knows.
Here on Simplistic Reviews, as we've just found out, because Justin's kind of on the fence about Star Wars, and I'm happy as a pig and slop about Star Wars, we don't agree all the time. But when that happens, we don't handle it like, fucking animals. We handle it like television lawyers. This is Open and Shut.
On the Simplistic Reviews podcast, the disappointed filmgoer or TV viewer are represented by two separate but equally important groups. The critics who think these offenses are a crime, and the apologists who have the balls to defend them. These, unfortunately, are their stories. Case number 1011. People v. the HBO series Girls. The Honorable Justin Polizzi, presiding.
Good evening.
Good evening. It's night court.
I am the Honorable Justin Polizzi. This is my courtroom. I will not stand for nonsense. Please do not look at the other side of my face, as it is very messed up compared to the other side.
I mock you, Judge.
No speaking in my court. I believe we are here to talk about girls. Is this correct?
Yes.
And I believe you both are representing yourselves, as it looks like, which is quite odd, but okay. Yes. So you both have a closing statement that you both will read?
Oh,
correct?
I think it's opening statement, Your Honor.
As well. I'm aware of this. I am just laying out the grounds of my quarters rooms. Matt, would you like to go first on the behalf of girls? Are you for the girls or against girls?
Well, Honorable Judge Palazzi, I'd like to say that. Hey, order in the court.
Sorry. That's his line.
I'd like a stand of execution for this show. Well, no, I don't, because this show is awful, and it should be canceled. Even though it's getting a third season now, and I'm sure all the hipsters in Williamsburg and Brooklyn and everybody is overjoyed by the fact that they get to enjoy a show that basically tells everybody, don't worry, if you're a lazy piece of shit who doesn't care about anything in life, you're going to be okay because you're going to marry a very rich guy who you're going to corrupt and ruin his life. And I rest my case.
Objection, Your Honor. This is highly slanderous.
Thank you, Matt. Let the record state Matt does not like girls.
Yes.
DJ does, apparently.
Let the record state that. Can we read that back on the thing, Your Honor? That Matthew does not like girls? Is that true?
I believe that's what I heard. He does not like girls.
I don't like girls. At one bit. I'm downright offended by them.
So, Mr. Valentine, I believe you're up.
Counselor, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the imaginary jury, do you all remember a show called Sex in the City? A show that starred a woman who looked like a foot or a horse? Some debate about that still. A show that...
We will not speak of that horse ever again in this courtroom.
I apologize, Your Honor. I'll continue. A show that portrayed women as banal, materialistic, vapid, miserable human beings. A show that, due to its popularity, had actual women in our society trying to emulate their banal, materialistic, vapid personalities, changing their priorities to, what shoes should I buy? Why doesn't Mr. Big love me and marry me? I'm depressed because Martin makes less money than me, so we can't be together.
I object.
I gotta get some gay friends.
Order in the courtroom. What's this have to do with 9/11?
Girls is the opposite of Sex and the City. A show where women have realistic problems. A show with generally funny moments. A show grounded in reality of New York where fashion shows and gallery openings aren't happening every 5 fucking minutes. A show where its stars get naked all the damn time. And I will not be against a show where its stars get naked all the damn time. Especially a show called Girls.
Okay. Understandable. And this nakedness,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Well, I'm not against titties. I like titties. I don't like weird ones.
What kind of nakedness is it?
Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor.
It's very objectionable.
Please, Mr. Valentine.
Actually.
Let the man speak.
Yeah, let me speak.
I'm sorry.
You spoke.
I apologize.
So yes, naked. Yes, they're naked. But do you really want to watch disgusting naked people get naked?
Nope.
No, you don't. And then the people that actually do look good on the show don't get naked, or they cover their boobies, or their buttocks, or their vagina areas. We can't stand for this anymore. I am John Kennedy, and I won't stand for naked, ugly people anymore.
Thank you very much. Mr. Valentine, or was it Dr. Valentine?
I'd go for both.
I would like to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Evidence-wise.
Evidence. I have a whole bunch.
I believe Matt brought to the table evidence of the crowd of people in this movie, or show of some sort. I don't even know what we're calling it these days, if we can call it a show.
Yes.
Seems to be there's a certain amount of people missing from the show. Certain kinds of people who are known to be in this
black
area.
Oh, are you referring to the minority population?
I believe so.
Yes, I would like to bring your attention Exhibit fucking A, Donald Glover, now on the show, a black man and a great rapper, Childish Gambino.
What season did he appear on the show?
The second season, Your Honor.
Took a whole first season. I see. Is he the only one, or is there multiple ones now?
If you take care to watch every episode and squint your eyes just a little bit, there is a black man in every frame. I admit.
Who has a bow tie and a mohawk.
That was Mr. T. Inexplicably, he was in one episode. But if you take your time to pay attention, minorities are highly, highly, highly represented in this show. Unlike Sex and the City.
Why was he brought in? What was this, if Mr. Stewart can please explain, why was this man brought in?
He was brought in because of white guilt, Your Honor.
White guilt.
White people who are ashamed of themselves. And
I object, Your Honor.
They put in a black fellow by the name of Gambino
I do find it odd that of everyone they could have picked, they picked him.
They picked him. They picked the whitest of all black men. They picked the whitest
I
of black
object,
men
Your
since
Honor.
Steve
I
Urkel.
object.
They should have put Jaleel White on the show.
Sex and the City, I'm getting to my point here, Your Honor. Sex and the City, perhaps the downfall of modern civilization. Girls, a great show with great writing, reliable subject matter, backed by Judd Apatow, and a rightfully award-winning program.
I object.
Somebody who's actually seen the show. I'm not saying that you haven't, but I'm just suggesting, to the court that I have actually seen the show. And I presented with the evidence here. I do not like the show. I will have to go with Mr. Stewart.
Yes! White people win!
That's not what I meant.
Oh.
This has been Open and Shut. And like most of you, I have nothing but contempt for this court.
I'm going to appeal this to the highest court in the land, Jesse Jackson.
Kiss it.
He himself is the highest court, huh?
Apparently. All right, we're gonna take a pause and then we're gonna do TV roundup. All right, time for TV roundup. I am still a little miffed that I'm the only one that likes girls.
Why don't you be a gracious loser?
Okay, I will. Anything on the television that you saw this month, or I guess, this month, Justin?
Well, I did indulge myself into a little show called Homeland.
I did too, as well. You're way ahead of me, but I did start watching.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm on like the 9th episode of the first season.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to be putting together my review of the first season and the second season.
What do you like about it, and what don't you like? Because I'm interested to see if it's the same likes and dislikes that I have.
All right. Let me put this out. DJ and Matt, you may answer this question. Does any of you like 24, the show?
Yes, I loved the 24.
I found it it was off and on because I don't know, 24 1 hour episodes is kind of a little bit much to swallow.
Well, it's okay. It was only 42 minutes.
It should have just been called 12 or 8.
Well, here's my thing. Here's why I bring this up. Is I love 24 because of its outrageousness.
Craziness every week. Craziness.
But there was a few bad seasons. It really went downhill. Like after 3 or 4 seasons, something like that.
I think after Chase got his hand cut off with an axe was when they jumped.
Yeah, when in the school, right, with the bomb.
Yeah.
The reason why I bring up 24 is because when I first watched Homeland, I thought, how far can they stretch this?
Yes.
And 24 is a similar way, and they didn't stretch it too well. Also, producers and writers of the same people are from 24.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's direct connections in writing and the producing.
That makes a lot of sense.
But I actually think the way, they have a lot more room as opposed to being on Fox. So, you can have your awesome sex scenes and your awesome cursing.
Yeah.
24 was the difference was that, to me anyway, that 24, at least there was a different plot every season. Homeland, I haven't gotten to season 2 yet, but it seems like it's going to be the same. Is Damon, what's his name? The British guy. Is he a terrorist, or is he not a terrorist, or is he going to do his terrorist plot? How long can you stretch out a terrorist plot?
Well, they do a very. Matt, have you watched this?
I haven't caught up on Homeland yet. I mean, all right. I'm planning on watching it at some point, but I don't know.
Understandable.
I know you guys are kind of covering that whole thing right now, and okay, I'll get to it.
Yeah, no, it's a good show to watch, and when I finished season 1, I was kind of, there's a wow factor, and I didn't really think it could be stretched. And then you see the last episode, and then I watched the second season, and I must say I am highly impressed with how they handled the second season as well. Okay,
then I gotta get through these episodes.
Especially that
I'm watching the first season, I'm like, this seems like a mini-series because they're tackling stuff that you think they would tackle way down the line for a series.
No, it's I gotta like the way they do things. I watched the behind the scenes of the writers, and apparently the way they write the show is they all come up with these awesome ideas and then just try to link them all together.
Okay.
And it seems to work for them. And especially, and the problem with this thing that I watched, I think it might have ruined the third season for me. Mm-hmm. Certain way they worded certain things from the last episode of season 2, which when you watch that last episode of season 2, you get into it halfway, and you're like, this is kind of boring, and then all of a sudden, it just kicks into overdrive, and then leaves you with, holy shit. And it really does change the whole factor from the first season when you think, how can they stretch this so far? And they really stretch it to a point where I didn't think they would, or they could stretch it. So I really got to give it to them. I'm highly impressed by this. And I think as you watch it, it might not feel like a great show, but when you watch a few more episodes and a few more, and you dive into it deeper, it gets so much better and becomes an addiction. And I was watching 3-4 episodes. I was waking up early to watch 3-4 episodes, and then I wanted to watch more.
Yeah, that's when
something
like that happens.
Yeah.
I was piling. I got to when I watched the first episode, and I was like, okay, let me see what the fucking big deal is. And I was like, oh, this show is pretty good. And I just found myself all the way to episode 6. I was like, the way they end every episode, you're like, wait, what's gonna happen? What do you mean it's over? No.
I think
the hour kind of flies by in that. And the performances, I kept wondering. The reason I got interested in the show is because
why is everybody winning awards for this?
Yeah, why does Claire Danes keep winning awards for this fucking show? But yeah,
you watch that when you get to the second season, maybe they didn't necessarily need to win for the first season for acting, but like when Brody like turns it, especially like in the toward the end of the first season, yeah, I can see it. But definitely during the second season, she definitely brings it because the bipolarness it breaks. So you got to give it to them for that. But and
it also has Inigo Montoya. So I mean, if it has Inigo Montoya in there, you have to watch the show. At least give it an opportunity.
I hope in an episode he says "Prepare to die." That'd be awesome.
If he says "Prepare to die" in an episode, I think nerds around the world would like heads would explode.
I think he's definitely like the best character.
Yeah,
and
his character's awesome.
You'll just fall in love with that character. I mean, then again, everything he does, you fall in love with. But he gets even better. Like it just. Especially during the second season, you'll see. The thing that angers me most about this show is that Carrie's usually right, and everyone's like, she's wrong.
Jack Bauer. She's Jack Bauer.
Right, exactly.
She'll tell him, hey, this is going to happen. No, it's not.
And then it happens.
Damn it, Carrie. They never even apologize about it. They just move on.
It's like, shut up, you're a woman.
Like David does. Like David kind of like, I'm sorry. But then he's the director of CIA. And then she'll do it again as he opens up the can. He does it again.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did hear
Sorry.
that.
Yeah,
I was trying to keep it really quiet. Sorry.
Do I bore you? Carrie is always right, and then Dave's like, "You're wrong," and then they you see that she's right, and it keeps happening. There's a point to you just gotta like, as a viewer, you're just like, come on, she's right. You know she's right. Why can't you just follow through with it? And that's the problem with the writers. Like they did that on 24, where Jack was always right, and then they make some stupid thing up, and then it would just go wrong, and then Jack's like, now I gotta save the day this way, and that's what pissed you off because you got up to like 22 episodes of 24, and then it just switches the whole thing on you, and then you got the last 2 episodes where they just breeze through. So they definitely do a better job than they did on 24.
I think it's just a matter of having less episodes, so you can fit in more quality content in 10 or 12 episodes.
Yeah, this is like the only
4 episodes where you're going to have probably about 8 of the episodes being fluff or just crap that absolutely brings nothing to the actual story.
And it does help that, and on Homeland and on 24, you're right. Jack, only person that ever listened to Jack was fucking the president, David Palmer. That's it. But at least on Homeland, she has like this history that makes people not trust her. In 24, Jack all he did was save the fucking day. After you save the day one time, benefit of the doubt granted. You should. I don't understand why if this person she hasn't at least saved the day yet, so she hasn't built up that I'll trust you no matter what you say stuff that Jack Bauer did every fucking season.
Yeah.
That kept pissing me off. Like, Jack, didn't you save the president 3 times already?
I'm moving to New Mexico.
It's like, what? So I do like Homeland. The performances are great. Damian Lewis is very good in there, but I think Inigo Montoya, Mandy Patinkin, he's the slept-on best person. Yeah, and show. He's been nominated, but he hasn't
nominated this year. But I forgot who won Best Supporting this year, but it wasn't him. It was somebody else.
Okay, Matt, what is your television?
God, I mean, I guess we're gonna keep on the same like Showtime train, I guess, a little bit, because I just recently I was watching. I did the review on the website for House of Lies, and I'm caught up all the way.
Yes,
that show. I mean, if you were ever a fan of Entourage or anything like that, I mean, you'll probably like the show, because
I watched the first 5 minutes of the first episode, and I was like,
well, the show opens with a big ass. Don Cheadle fucking somebody.
It's Don Cheadle and this woman and this
it's
woman
like, why is Don Cheadle got
like,
a naked well, why doesn't Don Cheadle have a naked girl on his bed? But
Don fucking Cheadle, that's why. Hotel Rwanda, bitch.
But I mean, the only reason I really wanted to watch, I mean, before that I had heard of the show, didn't really have an interest. It was like, okay, Showtime, I don't have Showtime anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. But now that we got new cable, we have Showtime, so now I'm able to watch Homeland at some point. But I said, okay, let me start with something a little easy. So House of Lies, plus Cheadle had won the Golden Globe for Best Actor. It was like, okay,
that's why I wanted to
that was
watch
the only
it.
reason why I was like kind of interested. Like, why is he good in the show? He's really good. He's
a good actor. I just didn't know.
He's everything good. From like I remember seeing him. I think the first time I really realized Don Cheadle was in movies was like in Bullworth, and he wasn't barely in Bullworth, but he was kind of funny in Bullworth though. He was the gangster.
He was a gangster, right?
He was just this guy talking shit, but it was still pretty funny.
Well, that's like for me, it was Boogie Nights.
Yeah, another one. Even before Bullworth.
He was great in Boogie Nights. He was great in Boogie Nights. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, like that's like the character
token
you
black
become
guy.
The most. Well, not necessarily, but you become the most emotional. Towards, especially like the ending, how that all like the donut shop.
I don't know. I got into emotional to Philip Seymour Hoffman. That part in the car was so. I felt so bad for him.
But then again, Don Cheadle, like nothing was like ever going his way, and you kind of felt bad for him. And then like and then he goes to get the donuts, and spoiler alert, a lot of people die, and he makes out pretty well.
Yeah, when you think about it, nothing went his way except not dying. So it's like okay, that's fine.
I'll take it. But no, Don Cheadle is a great actor. Really when I saw him win the award, like I was saying,
I was a little shocked. I was like, House of Lies, Don Cheadle, really? I was like,
I had heard about the show before. I think I made a joke about it in one of the videos we made because I didn't know anybody who had seen it, and I kept seeing commercials from it. So I was like, okay, maybe this show is going to be one of those like. It's like William H. Macy has a show on Showtime. Shameless. I want to watch. I don't hear anybody talking about.
I watched that.
Yeah.
Is it any good?
Is it good?
Here's the thing. It's
a British
based
show,
off,
isn't it?
It's based off. It's based off of the same name. You might say that one's better, but this one is Americanized, and it's like the same thing where like the same shit happens again and again, and you kind of it pisses you off after a while because it's repetitive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad, and he's great in it. He plays a father who's just a low life, and he's always drunk. So I mean, that's nice. Showtime's on the come up. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, when you think, like you guys said, Homeland, House of Lies, I think, because House of Lies is kind of like what they're trying to replace, like I said in review, also Weeds with, because Weeds was Showtime's comedy. Yeah. Now Showtime really doesn't have a comedy. I mean, they have like Nurse Jackie, but can you name two people that really watch that shit? Probably not.
I've never seen one episode of that show.
I haven't sniffed an episode of Nurse Jackie, so I have no idea.
My grandfather swears by it. I don't know why, but my grandfather swears by it.
It might be okay.
She gets nominated too.
She gets nominated every year.
She got nominated.
Yeah.
So it's one of those shows, man. But yeah, I'm probably gonna start to watch House of Lies probably tonight or tomorrow.
It's easy. It's breezy. I mean, it's 30-minute episodes.
It's CoverGirl.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite television show of the entire world premiered this month, Justified, and holy shit, am I fucking happy. That show, every year I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be the season where it's going to start to suck and disappoint me and make me cry. Oh man, just off the bat. For some reason, Graham Yost, the showrunner, he must like have know exactly what I want out of a show. My hero not to give a fuck. My villains to be mean as shit, but be clever. The first episode, it's this black guy trying to meet his girlfriend.
That's probably the highlight of the season so far for me. Because
oh my god,
I haven't been impressed with Justified so far this year.
What are you talking?
I don't know,
oh my
man.
Goodness.
It's lacking a villain.
The fucking UFC fighter got it. We raccoon boys where I come from.
Give me a break. That's your villain. That's my wife. Get out of here.
Well, I think they're gonna get the guy who was the main gangster. Wayne Duffy.
Wayne Duffy showed up.
Back.
Yeah, Wayne Duffy showed up like in episode 2. There's only been 3 episodes. Right?
I think it's been 3 episodes, and then they had the kid from Jurassic Park as the religious cult leader. This stuff is happening when I'm watching the first episode and I'm listening to Boyd Crowder, who you name me a show where the antagonist and the protagonist are equally cool. Like you want to like watch shows only with them in them. Like I can watch a whole show where it's just Raylan, or I can watch a whole show where it's just Boyd, and I'd still be fucking happy. Because Boyd Crowder is essentially redneck Joker. He's like a redneck version of Heath Ledger. He just goes around and does crazy shit to people, and it seems like he doesn't have a plan, but he always has a fucking plan, no, which is great. Is it? It's a great show. I don't know if Justin, have you started to watch any of the seasons? Or?
Yeah, I'm a far behind, but I guess you could say I'm you know, if you watched Archer the other night, I guess I'm.
Oh man,
right
Archer's good.
Every season of
Timothy Olyphant was on it.
Yeah,
Timothy Olyphant was on that episode, right? He was on the episode of Archer, right?
He was pretty good.
The thing about last season is the villain came really early. You had Neil McDonough really early. This one, it seems like it's slowly building up with this mystery about the parachute guy.
It's like you had three. You kind of had three villains almost four
big villains. Yeah,
I mean you had
almost four.
You had what's his name, Neil McDonough.
Michael
T. Williamson.
Michael T. Williams.
You still had Wynn Duffy in there. You still had Boyd Crowder, and then you had what's it called? You had Dickie what?
Dickie Bennett.
So you had five bad guys last year. This season you have nobody yet, really.
It's mainly going to be about the mystery. They're doing a little switcheroo, but I have no doubt that the gangster that Neil McDonough worked for he's played by Alan Alda. Yeah, I think he's going to come back as well. I know Wynn Duffy's supposed to play a big role this season, and if they're setting it up with Boyd's cousin or whatever. But I have no doubt. It entertains me every week, so I'm for it.
I guess because last year was so good, I'm expecting more, and I just haven't gotten it yet. That's my problem, I guess.
They're doing something different. They're trying to do something different, which I give them credit for. They could just be in a rut and do the same shit every season like certain other shows do, but it's gonna. I have faith in my Justified, and I haven't been let down yet. So, Matt, your favorite segment of the month?
Which one is that?
The one with the Swiss-born now Tina Turner.
You're simply the best.
There you go. This month we're doing. She changed her. Tina Turner changed her.
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner. There's no R in it. She renounced her U.S. citizenship and is now a Swiss citizen.
Why do you say Swiss?
Swiss. I don't know how to say it. She's a Swiss citizen. She's a Swiss
too many S's.
Citizen. There's a lot of S's in there. But yeah, Tina Turner is now Swiss. She is not American. I beat the nationality out of her.
So she basically is the Black Swiss miss.
She hates... Oh my god.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that's about right. This month we're doing Best Badass 80s Action Flick. And we're doing it out of the films Commando...
You're a funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Murdoch. I'm coming to get you.
RoboCop.
Bitches leave.
Die Hard.
Come out to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs.
And Predator.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Justin, what is your best badass
RoboCop.
80s action film? Okay.
You asked. RoboCop's my favorite.
RoboCop was your favorite? I mean, badass. What do you grade it on? Is it just because Red from the '70s show is a fucking evil villain running around killing people?
No, I think it's I think it's just an original idea that triumphs like anything that's made nowadays. The fact that they could put something like that together, as a kid growing up on RoboCop. That's essentially how it was for me. It was either Batman or Bond, but then I had like RoboCop toys and stuff like that, and I've always liked RoboCop more than even Terminator. I like Terminator, but RoboCop's just such a badass. Even though there's only one good film.
Yeah, and it's funny because they have like
1.5. I like 2. I like RoboCop 2.
Yeah, like half of 2.
Frank Miller did Part 2. Frank Miller did Part 2.
I like most of Part 2. I like the end fight scene between the two robots. It's pretty badass.
That's true, dude.
Frank Miller.
Fact
he said like "fuck this movie. I didn't make it or write it."
Well, he does that with a lot of things.
Yeah, he's kind of
fucking crazy.
He's an old prick.
But I mean, it has a weird mark. I mean, the fact that they had RoboCop toys for kids when it's one of the most graphic R-rated films of all time, and then a cartoon show.
As a kid, I didn't realize how violent it was, but now
how
it's like
violent it's to this day,
blown off and
blown off.
But I grew up on that film, and I haven't like shot up a school or anything. You know?
And it had a cartoon. It had a cartoon show. RoboCop had a cartoon. It's like the Highlander cartoon show. It's like, why are you showing me this? Nobody's getting their head cut off. So what am I watching this show for?
Cartoons, everything.
Yeah, but that first movie it's such badass.
It is.
Yeah. God. How do you feel about the remake that they're doing now?
I don't care.
Have you seen how the RoboCop looks in that movie?
Well, the RoboCop in that movie goes through different suits, different changes.
Yeah,
so there's it's like the Mark, like Mark 1, Mark 2s, where like
Iron Man it.
Well, I'm just using that as a reference. Where like the first.
I don't want to hear about this RoboCop remake.
No, I don't either. But
who's even doing
the
that
Mark?
movie?
The Mark 1 is like the original '87 suit.
Yeah.
And then like it changes like with the Mark 2, and apparently they keep like his right hand or something was the only other like thing they keep from his body, which kind of defeats the whole RoboCop thing. I don't know. I just growing up.
Why his right
really
hand?
Defeats me.
Is he gonna have a scene where somebody's crying and he uses his right hand to wipe the tear away from their eyes?
Oh,
and
boy.
crazy
In
stupid
slow
shit
motion.
like that. In slow motion. All right. So RoboCop is your best badass '80s action film of all time.
87.
Matt, 87. Matt, what is your favorite, or I guess the best badass '80s action flick for you?
I mean, if Justin hadn't said RoboCop, I probably would have said RoboCop because I mean it is. There's nothing about RoboCop I would change or take away. And if you think of RoboCop, like how much stuff has been influenced by RoboCop, like if you play the video game Smash TV,
yes,
they use.
I'll buy that for
I'll buy that for $1. If you watch RoboCop and then play Smash TV, you're like, holy shit, they use that line in RoboCop. That's so like awesome. And
it was the first Avengers crossover.
Oh, it's so cool. I mean, just everything in RoboCop. Just people getting murdered, like I don't know,
horribly.
Yeah, I mean,
horribly.
When the girl's getting raped, he shoots the girl right between the legs. Yeah,
yes,
it's like the coolest thing ever.
When I'm 4 years old watching RoboCop, and I see a guy get shot like that. Like, what's that mean? Okay, cartoons. Okay,
and that explains everything.
I mean, I would say RoboCop, but if you're talking about badass, I mean, we probably should have put something else on the list, but I'll talk about that later.
There's a bunch of honorable mentions.
If you want
that
badass people in a badass movie, you gotta say Predator, because that movie is full of badass people that are just the badass of the most badass ever.
Bottom, you're walking right on top of my because mine is Predator.
If you want to talk about badass, I mean, you have great action movies, great 80s action movies, and then you have badass motherfucking action movies.
Wall-to-wall badasses are in that movie. The bitch of the bunch is Apollo Creed. The bitch.
He's not he gets his arm cut off.
Yeah, or blown off.
Yeah.
But I mean,
would you say that? Would you say he's the bitch, or would you say Bill Duke is the bitch?
Bill Duke is doing. Bill Dukes is not a bitch.
Yeah, he's not a bitch.
Bill Dukes is not a bitch. He breaks a razor on his face. He's so hard ass. Big razors can't shave his face. I mean, but I was watching that recently, and I with some like grown up perspective, because when I was little, that movie scared the shit out of me because it was an invisible man shooting
people.
Yeah, but I'm watching. Bill Dukes is doing some emotional shit in that movie.
He loses his best friend. And
loses his best friend,
like
played by the governor. First off, Predator is the only movie on this list with two governors. We'll just throw that in the garbage, right? The bitch of the bunch is Apollo Creed, who is an Action Jackson. He is the weakest of them. Okay,
he does get killed by a Russian.
The second, if he dies, he dies. And then the second weakest is the director of Iron Man and the writer of other badass flicks, Shane Black.
Yeah, you completely. If he told, I mean, I don't know. I didn't realize that was Shane Black until maybe about a year or two ago. To be honest with you.
Yeah, same here. I was like, what? And if you think about like per capita of the amount of, because RoboCop has some of the most violent. It's probably the most violent movie on this list. Like realistically, for a futuristic film, realistically gory violence.
Yeah.
But RoboCop is a badass. Red Foreman is a badass. That's two badasses, okay? And I guess out of 209. Predator, Arnold, Jesse the Body Ventura, Bill Duke, Apollo Creed, Shane Black, Billy, the fucking crazy Indian guy. Crazy Indian guy.
He sliced his own chest open to fight the Predators.
He sliced his own chest open for no reason.
Pretty badass. It is badass. There's nothing that's not badass about this movie. These guys are like pulling down trees in the jungle, and a guy gets hit in the chest with like a log and is still running around.
There's a scene where I call it the gun orgy, where it's just Bill Duke, Jesse the Body Ventura, spoiler alert, gets shot through the chest. Bill Duke sees the Predator.
And it's like he gets a hole blown through his chest.
Yeah. Chest, a huge hole. And then Bill Duke sees the Predator, pulls up a minigun, and just unloads in the forest. Arnold and the rest of the team are separated. They meet up with Bill Duke, who's already shooting. They ask 0 questions.
I'm gonna shoot.
And just shoot into the forest blindly for 3 minutes. The biggest gun orgy. They're reloading, firing rockets. And they didn't even ask him what he's shooting at.
Just talking about this gets me like kind of hard.
Yeah. It's a gun orgy. They're shooting, and then after they've done tearing down the forest, they go to Bill Duke. What'd you see?
Eyes ain't shit.
They didn't even ask what they were shooting at. They could have been shooting at little children. Yeah. They didn't care. It is awesome. And then, despite the fact that the first hour of the movie is setting up how badass each character is, the Predator takes out each one by one, and then has this battle with Arnold, which is one of the best alien versus man fights you've ever seen.
Yes.
And that's probably why I like Predators, the reboot with Nimrod, whatever his name is. Produced by Robert. Yeah, because it does so many nods to the original with the minigun. And I was just watching that the other day, too, with Lawrence Fishburne says, turn around. Just like Bill Duke says, turn around. And shit, which is like, there's a lot of nods to that. Predator 2, not so much.
See, I like Predator 2. I don't care what a lot of people say. I still enjoy Predator 2.
It's just a shame what happened, when Predator 2 came out, what happened in the theater with the drowning of all the sweat from Danny Glover.
Danny Glover did drown a small village of people while sweating.
That is a sweaty fellow.
I'm out of here.
You got some breaking news if you want some breaking news.
Seriously.
Give us some breaking news.
Some X-Men Days of Future Past.
Oh, and more. Ooh, I want to hear.
Got got 3 returning characters.
Who's in it?
I heard January Jones ain't coming back, which is
thank
that's like the greatest news known to mankind. I didn't even care they were saying like we're gonna get nuked by Russians tomorrow. I wouldn't care. The fact that January Jones isn't here is like the greatest thing known to mankind.
If they recast White Queen, I'd be happy. Just as long as she's not.
Oh God, with any Charlize Theron, please. Charlize Theron, she's perfect.
Yeah,
she'd have been perfect for White Queen.
Yeah,
and she do it. She doesn't do anything. What is it? She'll do it. She just did that stupid Jimmy Kimmel the movie thing. She can do anything. She's fine, and she can play bitchy and with a personality.
Yeah,
not just stone cold like nothing. I'm not acting now.
Okay, now
I'm just.
I want to hear news now.
What's your breaking news?
What's
your breaking news?
Rogue is coming back for
Anna Paquin.
Days of Future. Yeah.
Rogue? Okay.
Ellen Page.
I don't.
And Iceman.
Oh
God.
Okay.
Two good, one bad. I'm not a big fan of that guy.
He's in that following show. He's in the new show with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, but I agree with DJ on that one. I don't really care for that guy.
Well,
I don't know. There's something about him that
just
makes
bother me enough to kind of
like if he was eating a slushie. If I saw him at a gas station eating a slushie, I just hit it out of his hand. Just say I don't like you. I just don't like you.
Like, hey, I'm Sean Ashmore. It's like fuck you.
Fuck you, Ashmore. Let's do looking ahead for next month. Justin, looking ahead to anything for next month?
I don't know if I'll make it. At the rate I'm going, it's not looking good, guys. So
you're looking forward to anything else? Anything else than your?
I'm looking forward to anything in the next 5 minutes.
It's definitely not. Well, yeah, I got a hockey game. But you're almost dead. Did you know?
I'm gonna die, but I got to see
you said 5 minutes.
Yeah. 5 minutes, yeah.
I mean, like you look at the movies like Hansel and Gretel and Parker. I really want to see movie 43.
Take your clothes off.
Yes.
Take your clothes
naked.
But
movie 43, I'm waiting to see.
What's that?
Movie 43. I
want to see that.
I'd check it out just to kind of see, get a laugh out of it.
Good Day to Die Hard is what I'm looking forward to next month. Just for the simple fact that
Friday.
It's supposedly back to being an R-rated.
Yeah, that's correct.
John McClane. So But the son thing, it just seems like it's going to be a little, it's still going to be a little schlocky as Live Free or Die Hard was with Timothy Olyphant, ironically. The son. I want to see how they do the son thing. The director.
You know what it does? It feels like it's going to be one of those movies where they do bring in the son. It feels like it, but I don't think it's going to be like that.
I hope not. I have a when I saw it, and it's the guy from Spartacus. Yeah. And the guy who's directing it, is the guy that did Max Payne, which made me go, oh.
Yeah, I had problems with that movie.
Oh, you know who I wish would take over that Robert Rodriguez would take that over and be fucking amazing.
Yeah,
it'd be great. or just somebody else that has like a love for Die Hard. I don't know who the fuck this Max Payne guy is. Hopefully he's.
But really, that's the only thing next month is Die Hard.
Die Hard, yeah, and I hope the son is. You
also got. Now it's I was gonna say Jack and the Giant Slayer, which is next after that. Well, that looks like total crap, if you ask me.
That was written by Christopher McQuarrie, by the way, the guy who did Jack Reacher, which was fucking awesome. But I don't know, it's Bryan Singer, and that was delayed. Jack and the Giant Killer was delayed like a year.
Yeah, it just looks like the way it just looks tiring. Like I'd fall asleep.
It looks like whatchamacallit, Puss in Boots, the movie, the Puss in Boots spinoff, but just with the other guy, and what the star of that is from what? I've seen him in something else, but I know Ewan McGregor's in there.
What the guy who's also in Warm Bodies and Beast and X-Men. He's the lead guy.
That's Nick Howlett or whatever his name is. That's him.
He's the lead guy.
Oh jeez. Yeah. Oh man, Jesus. What are you looking forward to next month, man?
Oh God.
We talked about Die Hard.
God, I mean. I'm trying to think of what's well, I guess the start of February is going to be start of Community, so Community's coming back in February.
Finally, might be the last season.
Might be, but I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, they got to make some room because 30 Rock's done and Office is done, so
thank God.
Put something,
Jesus.
Put them out.
Lay out.
And I'm not even religious.
Thank G star D.
Thank whatever.
Did you hear who Amy Poehler wants to play the mayor of Pawnee?
Oh,
I didn't hear that.
Because they've yet to announce show the mayor of Pawnee for Parks and Recreations, and they asked her. They're doing an interview with her and Adam Scott about the I guess some movie they're in, and they're asking them about Parks and Rec, and she was like, "My dream mayor would be Bill Murray." And she's trying to get Bill Murray to play the mayor.
That would be
wonderful. If they get Bill Murray on Parks and Recreations, it may be the greatest. It would be the greatest episode of all time.
Well, it is the show that gets better and better every time it's on. Really?
Yeah. And I
just don't think he would do it.
I don't know, maybe.
Because he did Zombieland, which is like the biggest, why would you do Zombieland? There's no connection to him.
Yeah, there's no reason.
How did they get him
Zombieland? I mean, because I guess
how did he get in that movie?
Is it going to be Mayor Bill Murray?
No, I think that would be even funnier.
It'd be funny. It's like, I became the mayor of some small town in Indiana.
Because this show has been on for what, 4 seasons, and they've never shown the mayor. They've always referenced him.
This is the 5th season of Parks and Rec.
5th season, and they've never shown the mayor. So if Bill Murray just happens to do a cameo as the mayor, and she said that she's been trying hard to get him to be the mayor, so that would just make the show.
Got the SNL connection a little bit.
Yeah, so, that's true. That's true. But Bill Murray,
type of thing.
I think if they let him do his own thing, they said come on, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
we'll do
whatever you want.
He doesn't seem like he wants to do much anymore. And if he is going to do it, it's got to be something like the FDR. Like he's trying to do those. He's been doing them, like the serious type films, and
yeah,
But he is still kind of the badass Bill Maher. So.
But so you're looking forward to Community.
Community, I'm looking forward to, and I guess next month is Oscars. So
we're going to be doing
we're going to do another podcast about that. We're going to pick our winners and shit.
Our Oscar winners for the podcast, which we're going to probably air that a couple days before the Oscars comes out. Matt, you want to give everybody the email and the Twitter stuff?
Yeah, I'll get it right this time, because last time I messed up.
Get it right this time.
You butchered it.
I did. It was funny, though. I went back and listened to it. It was hilarious. All right, Simplistic Reviews. Okay, if you want to get in contact with us via email, we are at simplisticreviewsblogspot@gmail.com. We are on Facebook at facebook.com/simplisticreviews. Twitter, we are at Twitter, the @ and then SR Blogspot. That's S as in slut, R as in Rebecca, Blogspot.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Order in the court.
Order in the courtroom.
Yeah, so Twitter, SR Blogspot. You can Twitter us that way. We were talking the other day. We want to start doing some stuff on Pinterest, like we said last time.
I still don't know what it is. I'm too old to understand what it is.
Soon. We'll put maybe some cool stuff on there at some point. And,
or maybe not.
Or maybe not. Who cares? You guys.
Stop ordering the quarter.
And IMDb, we're posting our reviews on IMDb as well. So
what?
Order of the court. Gavel, gavel, gavel.
There's the gavel, gavel, gavel. All right, for Justin, the Honorable Justin Polizzi and the Dishonorable Matthew Stewart, I'm DJ Valentine. Thanks for listening. I was just waiting for the gavel. This meeting is adjourned. It sounds like gunshots.
It does, though.
Oh, God. There's like 3 people got killed every single time.
Thanks for listening to the Simplistic Reviews podcast. I'd like to say I've been proud to be your announcer. But frankly, I'm embarrassed. I'm a $30 million state-of-the-fucking-art cyborg. I should be decrypting data for NASA, or at least going Terminator 2 on your tiny planet. Instead, I'm shilling for these clowns. Where the fuck did I go wrong? Not even the Tin fucking Man would put up with this shit. Do I have a plug? Someone please, yank that bitch.